support of a general meeting of Agpgn leadership with the beneficiaries of United Nations United Africa Alliance grant held on Agpgn livestream Telegram platform on Thursday, 27th July 2023 to unveil insight into UAG and the disbursement plan. The following were recorded. The Secretary General of All Grand Pressure Group of Nigeria, Agpgn, Comrade Livingstone, said the Agpgn had been offline for a while, but the Agpgn had decided to come to bring sanity to the system. He said that the meeting bordered on so many agendas. He said that a lot had been going on in the system. He said that the truth must prevail and Agpgn team was for that. It was observed of an agitation for protest due to long delay of disbursement of UAG grants. He said such people that said Agpgn had been deceiving Nigerians should come up into this meeting to make their submissions. The President General, Comrade Abdulrazak Yakubu, said that this meeting would be one of a remarkable ones. He said we were in an era of most valuable things to be interested in information, and this was why Agpgn placed priority in getting information. From what Agpgn stood from day one was what the Agpgn was still till today, being very strong and focused to get to the destination. A lot of things had been on public space and were almost distorted because of Agpgn silence. Agpgn team had not deviated on their stance. He said nothing would deprive you Nigerians on this expectation disbursement of UAG grants. The extent of work of Agpgn had been, if not being genuine, would have landed Agpgn in somewhere else, but for genuineness of good focus had made Agpgn team to be standing till now. He requested Nigerians to choose what to listen to. He said that the country director of UAG grants, Apostle Dr. Ken Nwakama, had made declaration a few days ago regarding the process of disbursement of UAG grants. Why now the agitation for distortion of his Apostle Dr. Ken Nwakama process for disbursement? He said that Agpgn had done everything could be done to uphold the hope for disbursements. He said UAG grant was a project named as United African States US, a project meant to salvage Africa, and the visionary was Professor Brahmi Abraham A.U. Olagore, who was respected and recognized, being spent many years outside Nigeria. Money was gathered from all over the world for this project and had been there since 2018. Professor Brahmi Abraham A.U. Olagore was called and flagged off in February 2018. The then Nigerian Vice President Professor Yemi Osibanjo was in attendance in International Conference Center, Abuja. Professor Brahmi was frustrated and later unfortunate death of this professor, and later late Mrs. Beatrice Odudu also later died 3 months after taking over. It was after this scenario that Apostle Dr. Ken Nwakama had to take charge, being his name in the document. No other grant except this UAG grant money that was available. Many people had tried many grants, about over 50 grants, but not successful. He said he was told to be praying for this very last person, Apostle Dr. Ken Nwakama, that nothing should happen to him. the last man to open the bowl. He said that at any point from now, the factual would be uncoded. A lot was going on. There were a lot of mysteries surrounding this money UAG grant. The President General of Agpgn requested freedom fighters to be cautious at this stage on actions, as many freedom fighters had fallen to the hands of those that did not want to allow this money to be disbursed to Nigerians. Agpgn frowned at a voice note made by one Pastor Andrew Audu from Jos Plateau State, who castigated issues on UAG grant disbursement. Agpgn observed that same people who were working with Apostle Dr. Ken Nwakama had been those acting which had been delaying the smooth disbursement of UAG grant. Those people formed part of those raising Ambassador Dr. Jehoshaphat against Apostle Dr. Ken Nwakama. It was observed that one Hajiya Fatima was also in the picture, or worked through Pastor Andrew as regards the issue of distortion against disbursement process made by Ambassador Dr. Jehoshaphat, who petitioned Apostle Dr. Ken Nwakama. It was observed that Hajiya Fatima and one Dr. Apia Anthony wanted Comrade Ustaz Dawood with Agpgn to fight against Apostle Dr. Ken Nwakama. That the name of Apostle Dr. Ken Nwakama was not found in St. Rita Foundation. It was observed that late Professor Brahmi had no house in Abuja. The wife to this late Professor Brahmi was ready to work with the country director, Apostle Dr. Ken Nwakama. It was observed that those mischievous makers working against Apostle Dr. Ken Nwakama had gone to wife to this late Professor Brahmi, but she refused. It was observed that if Agpgn team had done any protest, it would have not led to this level of achievements. The Secretary General said all what Nigerians needed is disbursement. He urged Nigerians to be careful that Apostle Dr. Ken Nwakama was not the real problem delaying this UAG grant disbursement. He said some wanted to use people against Nigerians to make this money for UAG grant to go back to the donor, and for them to find a way by them to go back to donor to reclaim this money. If this money was taken back to the donor, how are we sure this money would come back to Nigeria for liberation of Nigerians' masses? My viewers at home, it is all we are going to take for this first segment of this Agpgn meeting with beneficiaries of United Nations UAG grants that was held on the 27th of July 23. Alright, please drop your reaction in the comment section. Ensure you subscribe to our channel and share the report across all these platforms. Please, we are going to continue this the second part of this broadcast. Yes, the second stanza, the second part of this broadcast in another in another broadcast. Okay, please ensure you join us in the other broadcast for you to continue this broadcast in the other segment. And with the heading, you will know that that is the continuation. Thanks so much for listening, and bye for now. Stay tuned for more broadcast, and bye for now. Okay.